keep telling me this. Like, this is stupid. Oh shit. feel like I can't follow the timer. Just going to have a toilet break and I'll come back. And oh, and welcome to the Corner Bit stream. I was organizing the notes from yesterday because like after I stopped the stream, I decided to look up on some stuff. So I'll explain it, which I think will be helpful to anyone who is also studying Davinci for the first time. So let me go have a toilet break and I'll be back. And I'm still coughing, so I hope you don't mind it. I just checked my stream yesterday and I guess because I put like a compression count, a limiter to the stream mic, I mean the OBS settings, so luckily the coughs are not super loud because it's a really, I guess the coughs has been quite forceful and it sucks, but I'll take my well-deserved break in December. Right now I really just want to do the video edit and make the prints ready for the event, and also just like get the video edit out for you guys to watch because I really like it and I really hope that you guys will like it too. So let's start the date and let's close this stupid thing. I guess I need to learn feel like sometimes Windows app really annoys me, but at the same time I'm just too lazy to find better alternatives, so it's fine. So yesterday we were doing this, so this is done. It's looking really cool. So first things first, I will talk about the things that I learned from yesterday and also from like doing 8 hours of work doing my video edit yesterday. I learned a little bit of like how to set my own hotkeys for Davinci Resolve. Something which I've not done in the 4 weeks of intense video edit because like I just had too many things on my plate. But like sometimes I'll be like, I don't really want to bother with learning something new when I'm so like swamped with a lot of work. But I guess after talking about it on stream and just writing things down on like future to-dos, like for future to-dos that I will assign hotkeys and all that. And after saying that and after stopping the stream, I was thinking to myself, now I should probably do it now. I should probably do it last night. And so I did. And also something else that I figured out, because I was explaining yesterday that if you drag this out, then you can bring the uppermost clip to Fusion page like this. So if this is on top, this will be the one inside. And you can also right click to open in Fusion page like this. But I was like there's got to be a better way to do it. And I know how to disable nodes. And I'm like, wait a minute, maybe if I disable the nodes, I should be able to bring this. And sure enough, like that worked. I felt so stupid. Like I already know how to disable nodes since like week 2 or week 3 of doing my video edit, and I just somehow didn't connect it in my mind that I should be able to use this to like quickly bring things over to Fusion page. But besides that, it's really good. It's really good that I learned how to do that, because in my video edit there are a lot of nodes like stacked on top. I think this went up to like video 12 or something, as in the rows of this thing. And there's like a lot of stuff kind of like cramped together. So let's say if I copy paste like this, or if I move this here, there might be a node here that I might erase. So it's just super helpful to do this instead of like moving them around like I did yesterday. So learn from my mistake. And the other thing is hotkeys that I assign. I've been bringing this up accidentally in my 4 weeks of editing. And like I wasn't sure how I did it, but now I know that if you click, let me think, can I put this on the side? I guess I'll put this on, maybe I'll put this on the right side. Can I just like, no, not you. Why can't I just put, why can't I put Davinci on the side? It's really annoying. Forget it. So the other thing is that I decided to do, which is super helpful to me, is to control Alt K to bring up keyboard customization. And from this page you can assign your own hotkeys to things that you may need, and it doesn't have a hotkey over here. So you can see now, yesterday all these didn't have hotkeys. This is like the default, but open in Fusion page, open in timeline, new compound, new Fusion clip, all these hotkeys were assigned by me because I use them a lot in the video edit. And let's say now, if I want to open this up in the outline, in the timeline, I just have to click F1 instead of like I was doing this for the past 4 weeks. Sounds stupid, right? But, and the nice thing is that I can also click on one that's below. I don't even need to disable the top nodes, and then I can click F2, and now I can bring this to Fusion page. So it's really like time saver for me. So if you search Fusion, open in Fusion page, new Fusion clip, like let's say if I have this, and then I want to create new compound clip, and why I want to do that sometimes is, let's say, what is it again? I just assigned the hotkeys yesterday, so it's still not subconscious to me what the buttons are. Still need to get used to it. Usually I'll name it com for compound clips, so that it's easy for me to search it up here, or it's easy for me to create a smart bin. And then this is com, and then it'll find the media stuff with the word com inside. And also because I wouldn't call my, where is it? I wouldn't name, this one appeared. So I guess I need to edit this. So I wouldn't name all these. I would know personally that I wouldn't name these with like underscore com. So I can safely name all my new compositions as like com underscore something. And then that way with the smart bin, it can help to filter out my composition stuff. And then I can press F1. I can press F1 to open it in the timeline, which is really cool. Like in some sense, I would feel that I should have done this in week 1 of video editing, but there were so many things to do. Just too many things. Like yesterday, I spent 8 hours on video editing, and I feel like I finished one of the section which I have put off because it was more of doing like a slideshow kind of thing, kind of effect. But that took like, I feel like there was one part where it's just like 4 seconds, but I probably spent like 1.5 hours on it because like it was insane the amount of images I have created, like 40 layers. But yeah, I think I'll start talking about the edit. But in the future, if anyone's interested in how I work on the video edit, I mean after you watch it, then I'll talk about it more. But so the reason why sometimes I want to make compound clips is so that, let's say if I want to do a cross dissolve, then it's really easy to put the cross dissolve like this, like that. It's really nice. You can put cross dissolves on everything, but it's better for me to do that if I don't have the image finalized. That means like I want to do some changes to like this one, or like the timing is a bit off, so maybe I would want this to be on the main timeline so that I can just quickly adjust it when I start doing the final tweaks. But like when it comes to something like this, where I'm like, this is extremely final, I don't want to make any more changes for this, then I'll group them up to neaten it up, and then put one put one cross dissolve, and then tweak the cross dissolve based on the music, like that. So today will be like what I mentioned yesterday. I'll be working on this one. Something I noticed too is that I end up not using this, but it is a little bit helpful for me to look at this so that I can kind of get an idea of like which parts are in the background and which parts is in the foreground. Just like a very small mental preparation before I start the work. Where this is going to start looking messy. So I've already created one smart bin where it contains the name of the camera, and this is for the snake. There's a way to do like a right click and do a new bin over here, and that will act like the, let's say, so I use it sometimes. So let's say if I do this, and this way it will move into a folder. So this is kind of like a folder hierarchy. This is more of like a tagging, adding tags to the images, and there is like some pros and cons for both ways. I don't really use this that much, and actually after 4 weeks of video editing, I find myself just using this. Like I created a Fusion folder in this, but then after like my media pool became like 500 media clips over here, like it made sense for me when, let me just do it like how I did in like week 1 and 2. Fusion clip. This one's calm. Maybe I just put it here. So like when my media pool was just this small, it made sense for me to just remove the stuff. But then like kind of like 4 weeks in, especially when I got more used to using Davinci and I started creating more and more Fusion comp clips, or like delete them, make new ones really fast, it started building up, and I just didn't bother like looking at my media pool anymore because there'll be like 500 of them. So I realized that this was helpful for just like the beginning, but eventually it became in some sense redundant. And also if you do this, you can't see like the overall. So I tend to not use this anymore, and instead I'll just create smart bins for the comp and for Fusion, because if you create new Fusion clips, they will be called Fusion Clip 6. So it's really easy to just create a smart filter and do this. And then this is all the images. That means this is, because I'll be working on still images only, there's no videos for this. So I just created this really quick exclude thing. But let's say if you have videos, you have still images, which is what I have in the other project. If you have all of them, then you can do this, and you can do something like this where it's like, oh, if you just have music, it will be this. Or I think if you do like PNG, I think it should work. Let me try. Yeah, I think it can. You can filter out with just writing this .png. It'll be considered part of the name. So you can do this for still image, and you can do this for videos, or if your videos is MP4, then you can do this. So those are really cool ways of, because like dealing with 500 plus clips, like you just need to form like some sort of organization that works for you, so that kind of like structuring folders and like putting, like, is it considered a mind palace kind of thing? But yeah, so enough talking. I will work on this one, and I think maybe I'll work on 150 frames. This was a bit too short for my edit, and I need to adjust. I needed to adjust it. Or should I just keep it? The reason why I would prefer to work on a longer frame is that another thing that will happen that I encountered a lot during my edit is when you create compound clips, new compound clips or new fusion clips, the duration of the clip, you see how I can stretch. With a still image, I can stretch infinitely, but with this one, it depends on the length of the stuff inside. And now if I have this fusion clip here, it depends on the length of the still image or the video inside that. So you can see, even though I lengthened that, it still can't extend. But then now I can extend this one because I have extended this one. And because now there are frames here, I can extend this, if that makes sense. So learning from the mistake that I made yesterday, where I did this too short, and then I end up having to like go in and like I had to do this for everything, I will just start from a longer, because I can start from something longer. And let's say if I want to keyframe this, like let's say if I zoom in like that, I can always shorten this. It's really easy to shorten it. Let's say if this is here, and I'll be like, oh, this is too fast. Oh, you know, that looks really cool actually. I always like these kind of accidental finds. It's really cool. So let's say I'm like, oh, this is too slow. Let me speed it up. It's a lot easier to do this than to like, oh, I need to extend this, but then now I need to go into all the clips here and extend all of these. And this may be confusing if you have no idea how Davinci works. Like right now, I'm basing this off like my experience of working with Davinci in the past 4 weeks, where it's a lot easier to cut things off than to extend. So with that in mind, I'm going to work on a longer, and it's still image, so I can with a video, if the video ends here, then it ends there. But with a still image, I can extend this. And so doing the same thing, I'm going to break this up into different layers. And before that, let me bring them into the sun. Because they're so like, this is so cute too. I drew this during the Krita stream, and I've been using this ever since. I did like some weird shape over here, that's why I tend to hide it like that. But yeah, it's really cute. I guess, was there something else that I forgot? Oh, things that I learned yesterday in the Fusion page. Pressing Control D, no. Control P. Control P will disable this, which is good. Let me okay, I'm not going to open that. Maybe I'll bring this in. So yesterday I was talking about how I wish that there's a way to disable nodes. So I found that out. It's Control P. So it'll disable the selected nodes, which is really helpful. But kind of sucks that the button is Control P, because it means that I need to use two hands to do that. Like I really, wait, maybe I can use the right side, Control P. No, I guess I've assigned some hotkey to that. And then the other thing is, if I'm not wrong, in Nuke, to disable nodes will be pressing D on a node, which is a lot easier. Open the timeline, newcom, decompose. I made some hotkeys to do this because once I finish this, I'll need to export this out and import it to my other project. But like one of the problems that I encountered with this is that if I just do a file and export timeline, that it will say the media is missing when I import it to the other file. And I'm not really sure why that is, but I'm kind of guessing that it's because for this one, for like all of this except for the first one, I'm just gonna quickly go through it. So in the first one, in the first layer, I've only used these two nodes. And the two nodes are here and here. They're both in the timeline and in the Fusion page. So I'm guessing that's why this one didn't have an error. Whereas for the others, like this one, if I open this up in the outliner, I only have these two images here, this media clips. But then when I bring it into Davinci, I have this. Oops. Oh my god. Wow. I accidentally click F1 by reflex and it brought out the manual. Wow. Oh, that's really cool. I guess it's something that I'll go through when I'm done with the event in December. Okay, let me just like write that. Let me just check that it's, oh, I see. So it is just clicking F1 anywhere. We'll bring that up. So I will do that next time. because I kind of have what I need for now to do what I need. So what was I saying? This one, I keep forgetting that. So I have this, I have this, I have this image, I have this image, this one, this one. So you can see like I have a lot of media in here. It's because I click and drag, and it makes a lot of sense when I'm building this up to just click and drag. But because of that, a lot of the clips are missing in the timeline. So when I export this way, export timeline, it in the new project, it will say that the media is missing, and then the whole screen will be red. So the way to fix that is to go to the media page, and from here you can export fusion composition. And in the other project, with like, let's say right click, if you create a new fusion composition, like let's say I do this, and then I bring it in here, then I can open this in the fusion page, and then file, import fusion composition. And that's why I put hotkeys for that, because I'm going to do that a lot for the next 3 cameras. And you can just to note that this is blacked out. This is blacked out on the other pages, which was a bit confusing to me, but I kind of like slap on it. And today, like in some sense, it kind of makes sense. Although I kind of wish that it's a little bit more straightforward than this, because yeah, it's just a bit convoluted in a way. I guess it would be nice if all these would be kind of like streamlined, and then I can just like export blah blah. But there's something that was helpful for me yesterday, because I was having a lot of trouble trying to export and import this into the other project file. Open. Something else is that there's a way to link clips by pressing Control Alt L, and I always find that it's one of those times when I use my right hand on my keyboard to like type Control Alt L, and I usually do it because sometimes I just want like maybe the audio from the video, or I only want the visual from the video, and usually videos to be linked together. So I tend to want to unlink the clips. But now that it's like Control Alt W, I'm still not sure whether or not I want it to be Control Alt W. But now I can do it with one hand, so that's really handy for me. Then what else did I? And I'm talking through all this because like I've only done this last night, and as usual, like I just need a refresher for myself, because if I don't do this, then it becomes easier to forget. It's something that I learned from doing Anki cards for over a year now. And I think with Anki flashcards, you have to pay for the app to use it on your phone, but it's worth the price. This one, Contour T, Shift click. Yeah, so now it's DS2flame, And I'll be doing the same thing. I'll just copy paste this so that I can reference this and put this at the side. Let's go to Blender. Oops. I hope it doesn't crash. So I have different, if you have followed my live streams last month and before that, before I disappeared for a month to do my video edit, I have been working on this sculpt and lighting and rendering for the sculpt. So I have a few different cameras. I have this one, I have this one, and I have this one. So everything is done in terms of the lighting and the camera setup. I've really made the renders and everything. And then I took like 1 month off this project to do the video edit. And now I'm back at it again because I feel like my video edit is at a good place right now. It just needs like maybe 100 more to-do list fixes or something. And then, yeah, so I have a file where all these are done. And what I did is to duplicate the file so that I can delete this stuff and create individual files for the different cameras, which was what I did with the snake cam in another file. So this is done. So yeah, let's start on, let's just get going. I will be doing the same thing that I did, the exact same stuff that I did for this. And because today I'll be working on this camera here, I will delete everything off. Right click and delete hierarchy. Don't delete this. This one delete. This one delete. This one delete. This one keep. Yeah, another reason why I'm splitting this up, as in I'm splitting the Blender files for different cameras, is because for different scenes, the foreground, midground, and background are really different. So for this specific angle, this is the foreground. So foreground is here. But then for the snake camera, this is the foreground. This area here is the foreground, so it's really different. And maybe that's an optimal way to like neaten it up in one single file. I mean, organize it in one single file. But I just don't really think about things really technically. And I've only just learned this like, I guess it's one day ago. So everything's still quite new to me. And so I'll just do things in the way that I'm comfortable with right now, which is to just like so that I can organize things in my brain. I will keep everything individual in different files. So I'm just looking at the elements here. I know that this one is like there's a little bit of rotation that I made because the foreground moves to the left, background moves to the right, the middle ground stays the same. the middle ground stays the same, but because of like the left and the right, it kind of feels like it rotates. And that's kind of the idea that I wanted for this specific angle, because it's really close up, and in some sense the only kind of like the main focus is these two creatures here, but they kind of occupy a really horizontal space, and so I want to do like that kind of motion for this. But when it comes to this one, I feel like, and I'm just gonna draft this. I'm just gonna do a simple keyframe just to kind of see like what I have to do. But for this one, I think it will be more of like a dolly zoom effect. I think that will work out for this one, because with this shot, there's a feeling of like, oh, they are in the middle of a fight. They are ready to engage in combat, and that's why I wanted the kind of like the dynamic movement of this. But for this one, it's more of like what's it called? This is more of like a kind of like a portfolio piece in some sense. The idea of it, I mean, they're all portfolio pieces, but the idea of this would be that, oh, it's a display, I guess. So with this one, I just want it to the other problem is that with this, I have foreground elements, and the floor is being, in some sense, like blocked off by these foreground elements. And with this one, all these are visible. And I feel like an issue that I can come across with this is that because this is a fake 2D parallax effect, and by the way, like, I'm talking about all these things because I'm trying to problem solve, and it is quite easy. It's like a lot easier to problem solve for me if I think about these things like step by step. And like, I've realized that a lot of the problems that I found solutions to is because I talk about it during the stream, and then when I finish the stream, I'll be like, why did I say it? Like, why did I bring that up? Or like, why did I say that, like, oh, I'm going to do the hotkeys after the event is over, like in December, because it makes more sense to do it right now. Things like that. It's a lot easier to process. So anyway, because this base plate right here is one object, if I put this in the foreground, let's say if I put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if I put these bricks in the foreground, and then I put these bricks in the midground, I kind of feel like maybe it wouldn't work, because this base plate, the outer circle, occupies the foreground, midground, and background. And so, like, if these are in some parallax effect, but then this is not, I feel like maybe there will be something, like, it'll just look really off. Or if I put this, I have a feeling that if I put the base in like either the foreground or background, and then this area here is in the foreground, this is definitely in the middle ground. I have a feeling that if I do a parallax effect, that there'll be sliding on this, on the base, that will be quite yeah, I guess it'd be quite jarring. But actually one of the things that I should do is to how was I doing it? Oh right, I think let me remove this. I'm going to turn this into a new fusion clip, which is I assigned this as F5. I'm not really sure why I can't search by keystroke like I can in Blender, because it's really helpful for me. Because sometimes I wouldn't know what the thing is, but then like I will know what the hotkey is. So let's say I will want to search for Control D, let's say. In Blender, it's very easy to do this, and you can find what it is. But over here, I guess you really need to know what the name of the key is to find it. But luckily for Fusion, it's very straightforward. Just search for Fusion, and then new Fusion clip is F5. And with this, I can bring it to the Fusion page, and then do this. And so now that I know that this can be used for alpha matte can I do that? Control T. Yeah, not really sure. Okay, what did I learn today? Right click and drag this. Okay, right click and drag this. Yeah, it's a lot easier to do that. It's a lot easier to than like trying to find the specific arrow keys. You can like right click and just like drag it to the node and then choose the connection that you want. I think that's a lot. It's like maybe 0.01 seconds faster or something. And then with this one, I want this to be affected by the luminance channel because this is not an alpha channel. So you can see like it's being affected by this, where the white color is opaque and the black is transparent. And with this, I can do shift space and color curves, and this will be I want the mid ground. Maybe like that. And then I create a new one. Something else that I kind of figured out to do is to copy this. If let's say I want to duplicate this, or just copy this and move this up and paste the new one. Because when you copy something, it will appear on the wherever this thing is called, and it will appear on the same thing, which is totally cool if there's nothing in the timeline. But when the timeline starts like getting really cramped, this is not ideal because you'll start eating into other stuff. So it was really cool when I thought of doing it this way. Maybe there is like a more efficient way to do it, but I've just been doing this for the past 2 weeks. Or I guess I kind of like figured this out in the 4th week of editing, so it hasn't been a while since I did it. And because I want background can just be background for this case, like that. And then now foreground would be not the foreground. Where's the bottom? I wish that this doesn't go up and disappear into like outer space or something. But I just tend to undo when it kind of like goes out of hand. Maybe something like this. This just to get an idea of what I need to do. And now I'm going to start keyframing. Sometimes I use the keyframe from another clip to jump to the frame I need. Something like that. Then I guess with the dolly effect, the foreground will stay quite still. But I can maybe like 1.1. I set too much. And then this one will be a lot more, 1.2. Maybe that might be too much. But it's always good to work on the extremes so you know where the cap is. So I'm just going to test this out. And then I and O to, or like clicking a clip and pressing X. Why is it not working? Pressing X will let you mark like the ins and outs of the timeline. This was extremely confusing to me in week 1. And like Shift X, wait no, Control, wait, okay, Alt X? Okay, Alt X to, like I've been using muscle memory at this point, so like trying to like voice out what the hotkey is a bit confusing. But X to mark it, Alt X to remove this, because like if let's say that you have the in and out on the timeline and you copy and paste this, it will paste itself from the start of this I don't even know what this thing's called, but like the ins of the timeline. So when you want to copy and paste things at a specific place, just remember that you have to disable that. These are just things that yeah, it was just really frustrating for me in the first week of edit, like trying to figure out what this thing is doing. I guess it also makes me feel like, oh, I've come a long way. I've learned something in the 4 weeks. I wasn't just blindly doing things without understanding them. So you can kind of see like what I'm trying to explain here, where you see that this base plate, if it shifts more than these bricks over here, it's probably going to look very off. So I'm going to try and do something that that doesn't involve splitting the base plate up, because I just don't want to deal with that. And I think this is like too much difference, where like it becomes really off. But I'm not really sure. Is it too much, or is this really what I need? Like, Wait, where did the other layer go to? How did I was wondering why like it feels like something is missing. Yeah, not really sure whether this is too much. Maybe it's too much. So I try to, now that I know this is too much, it's a lot easier to maybe 1.4, and then this one will be 1.12. It's a bit hard to tell too when it's. I'm just gonna try the left and right thing. You know, looking at this, I'm seeing that a lot of the background they're quite covered by the foreground. So I can kind of do like a maybe I do need to split the base after all. I'm not sure. Yeah, now that, because I did a really rough mock-up of this in the other project for my video edit, so I wasn't really like paying attention to all these things, but now that I have to pay attention to them, yeah, still not sure. But you know, like it will take too much time if I just keep thinking about it and not doing it. So I will do the parts that I feel should work. Do the parts that are more straightforward, I mean. So I will do, so the way that I do it is to, let me hide the base too, because where's the base? I'm gonna hide this, so that's easier for me to select the objects that I need. And this is quite close to the camera actually, but this will be based on this. It has to be in a mid-ground. This one, do I want this in mid-ground? I guess this one too. This one too. I guess it is mid-ground. I mean, it goes to the background, but I guess like what is visible is this area here. So I'll move this to the mid-ground. So by pressing M, can create a new collection, and I'll call it mid-ground. And as I'm doing this, I'll switch this off so that the ones that I've already assigned a group to will be off like this. I guess this one's mid-ground. I'm not really sure what to think of this one, but I guess this would be foreground because it is at the front. And same thing, I'm gonna turn this off. All these are definitely in the foreground, so I'll move them into the foreground. This one too. This spear is in the foreground. This one's in the foreground. Sometimes it's easier to select the small, or like all the small pieces, and then just control drag everything else so that you can easily like just quickly select all the objects that you want. Foreground. This bit is in the foreground. So this is exactly what I was doing for the snake cam to create the parallax effect. I kind of thought that the snake cam was one of the harder ones actually. Or was it? I kind of felt like it was the easiest, that's why I started on that. I guess it's more of like anything new that I try would just be harder by default. And then like once it's finished, I'll be like, oh, what was the big deal about doing that? Like, why did I take so long? Like, feeling stupid about it. But I just have to remind myself that all these things, it takes time. I think this will be grouped with this because it really doesn't matter. It's like just a few seconds. So I'll group these together. And sometimes I need to look at this or like reorientate myself. Let me delete. I guess I'll delete this. Reorientate myself. Oh, and I'll move this. This is the volume matrix. And I have to disable this for some of the renders, so I will move it into its own group so that it's easier for me to toggle it. Just look through this. Is that all transparent? Oh yeah, background plane. Let me delete the stuff that I don't need for this. I don't remember if I don't need this. If I can, let me see if I can delete this, because this one is for the goal. I guess this should be fine. So I guess I need this one, and I can delete this. So this is the plane. Okay. Plane will be separate too. because I need to disable it for some of the layers. Then what do I do now? Alright. This is the foreground. Guess like another question would be just from the experience of doing the snake camera yesterday, and how I ended up doing four layers instead of 3, so that I can split this one layer. This bird and this snake is on the second layer. Messmer is on the third layer. And the reason why I decided to do that is because when I was setting this up with the snake and Messmer in the same layer, it's quite visible when, and like the bird was in the same layer as this. It's like, I guess to the to the average person, they will be able to sense like something is a bit like static, because you're not seeing a change between his legs, the position of his body and the snake. Whereas now, you can see like his legs start showing through here, and like it kind of feels the snake is at a different space. And because they are both the main characters of the shot, it's really important to do that. Like same thing for the bird, where like I didn't want to bother with splitting this super large object into 2 layers because it's just a lot of work. But this bird moving with this made the shot look quite flat. So just splitting this bird up so that it just moves is really subtle. If you have to watch the space in this area here, you can see like, oh, it got bigger, the space here, and because of that, it feels more separated. And of course, like all these foreground elements, because like this one, it goes out of frame, so it really doesn't matter if I split this and this up. That's why they're all just they're just one layer, even though this one is quite a bit more behind. It doesn't matter because that's not the focus of the shot. So that's just how I prioritize what needs to be separated and all that. And of course, it really helps that when like I've really done the work, so that for the next work that I have to do, which is this one, I can kind of like make sense of things better, in a sense. So when it comes to that, I'm kind of thinking that this patch over here, if I right click on the collection and press S, I can easily select all the objects. But I kind of have a feeling that the same thing with the snake, it might be better to split this one. Even though this is considered foreground for me, I think it'll be better to split. Although I guess like because I put this in the midground, maybe technically this is the midground. But like I'll definitely want to, because this is kind of like the main, it occupies a huge space in the shot. So you can see like if this thing moves at the same speed as this, immediately it will feel like a huge part of the shot is really static. So I'm going to split this up. And I guess maybe I'll do 4 layers too for this shot, where this is the second, kind of like the middle ground. What's like a second middle ground? Well, I'll just keep this separate from this, I think. So this is separate. This is separate. And then this is foreground. And I'm just thinking, do I put this in the foreground or the midground? Because I also have to think about intersections. Like, let's say if this tree are going to move at a different, in a different way from this one. It's a bit hard to tell. But I think, like, do I want this to be this? Sometimes the hard part is really when I have to start making more refined decisions. Like, it just becomes exponentially harder. But I guess in this shot, this is moving at a different speed than this, so I will keep this separate. It really helps to have that base, just like a mock-up of, I guess in some sense, like, it really helps to have storyboarding. So hide this, so that's a lot easier to just select this. Maybe I'll just call this I just name it in a different way. And then this one, 2, I'll just, like, for the sake of, wait, let me, this one is outside. So I think in terms of what will be in this group, it'll just be the objects that are within the camera angle, because once I start splitting the layers, I mean, I'm not really sure whether or not it's kind of like there's something that I'm missing, but with the snake camera shot, there will be like some differences happening with the, like, hiding the objects from the different layers. It affects the rendering a little bit, the lighting rendering. So I'm going to because this is not inside the shot, I'll just keep this as it is, but I will put these, yeah, I'll put this in the DS2 group, and sometimes it's easier to, like, select like that, to select like this and then deselect the ones that are not part of the group. It's a lot faster that way. Like, the things start looking a bit freaky when the things are hidden. So going back, gosh, I really don't like it when I accidentally move the camera. Move back. Can I, like, lock this inside a group? Can I just put you in here? So this is out. I'll leave her alone. And now I guess these will be in the background. I think. I think it's safe to put this in the same layer as him. I'm not really sure if I want to split the snake up again, because I mean it will just be more work at the end of the day. It's such a thin object. But yeah, we'll see. This one should be with the... So this one's background. All these will be background. So background. And hide this. I feel like depending on the mood that I have at the moment in time, doing something like this is either like very tedious or very relaxing. I'm not really sure if it's like more towards relaxing or tedious today though. Cause like sometimes when I'm like really tired from like let's say 10 hours of video editing, this would be like a breath of fresh air to do something like this. But then sometimes when like I'm excited to do something else, then it becomes taxing. So I'll move this to the background, and then I'll just kind of give a buffer where I'll just select all these. And I guess I'll just select these is fine. Maybe just this too. Select this and put this in the background. Maybe I should just put these in the background. Like just, it's just neater that way. Background. Background. I think that would be it for this. I guess it's kind of cool how the neck plate details feels quite solid like this, because it's following a nice shape. Okay, so everything is let me hide this now. Oh wait, before that let me check that there's nothing else in the frame, and then I will hide this. I still have the base to think about, but let's just check that these are fine. And then check it from a different angle. So this one. Like any changes that I have to make, I'll do it after I tried this out in Davinci Resolve. So now everything's done. I'm going to start working on the harder part, which is, why is it not showing up? Why are you not showing up? Oh, right. Okay. Wait, are you not in frame? Oh, you're not. Okay. Yeah, the base is a bit tricky. I feel like the main camera shot and snake shot is less tricky because you don't see the flaw for them. Like I just put them as a foreground. That makes sense. Maybe for now I'll just put them in the foreground. So I'll select all of this and move it to the foreground. Like maybe this can be in the background. But let me just move this to the foreground first. Foreground. And then that way I can hide this already. Where's the midground? Maybe I'll try and put some of the bricks into the background because they'll be hidden by like this one. I think they shouldn't. I should just put. Yeah, I think they have to be separated. So I'll look at where these are and put them. I kind of feel like Sigmar from Dark Souls 1. Just like Gosh. No, I guess like I always feel like him when I'm doing something new. This one's definitely in the background. Oh, okay, I know. I was thinking about like whether this will be visible. As in whether the cutout will be visible, the intersections. So like the solution to that is just to not include this one. I just want this and not this. Yeah, I want that one. I want this one. I want this one. And it's fine if I select the other stuff. I'm just doing this based off the camera angle right now. So maybe like that. How about the center? Because all these will be hidden. And now I can go to the top view and just deselect these. And I guess this one. I guess I have to see if did you just like remove my selection? Yeah, let's do it again, but this time without this. I'm gonna select this and deselect. I guess I'll select this one. I select this one. I guess it's fine. And then I don't think I need. I guess these are fine without. And I'll move this to the background, like so. I don't have to worry about these because these bricks are taller and they will block out wherever this thing is doing in the back. So I don't need to worry about it. This will be in the, this is the foreground. So this is part of the foreground because only this is visible. Only this part is visible at the front. This is not going to be visible behind. So this is definitely in the foreground. My only worry is that this might show up. But that's why I'm looking at the other layers. Just making sure that they aren't standing out, I guess. Background. Maybe maybe I shouldn't involve these parts. Maybe. Maybe I'll move this into the midground just to keep it neater. Then that way it's a lot less to deal with. And I guess after separating that, his hands are in his hands. Like, would it matter? I'm not sure whether I need to split his hands up, just like the snake. But I'll just do it like this first. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I guess I've done this a lot faster than for the snake, so I'm happy with that. So this is this is what it looks like. And I'll start rendering out the, make sure that this is the right resolution. And I will maybe do it like this. And then that way, because like it doesn't really have to be super high or anything. I think sometimes when rendering like a higher resolution, this being a bit lower is fine. So I'm gonna start rendering the different layers. That means that I'm not going to render the plane. I'm not rendering the volume. I'm just rendering Okay, I just noticed a problem, which is Which is that if I render this out, I can't get the alpha channel for these things, because now the alpha channel is going to be like that. But then, how do I go about this? Let me see. It's time to problem solve. Maybe what I can do is to this one is over. It's actually turning out to be harder than I thought, I guess. Or like more complicated than I thought. Okay, I'm just gonna make a guess. I'll keep the base separate and figure it out later on when I've blocked more out. Let me think. So I'm gonna keep this. I'll have to keep these separate. So I'm going to do something different. I should have just like grouped them separately from the start. I just didn't think about it. Okay, what am I doing? I should just be selecting from this angle like that. And then I'll group this as like that. And then now I can do the proper stuff. Base. Do this. Foreground flames. Should this be part of the base? No, I need this. Okay. Oops. change the world to transparent. Where is it? I keep forgetting where it is. Transparent. Is this even correct? Oh, no, it's not. Okay, let me turn this on. Then this way, I'll have the alpha channel for the flames to make the different layers. How do I do the bricks? I need to split the bricks. I guess I also shouldn't overcomplicate this. Maybe I'll zoom in till the base is invisible. Ah, shit. Maybe I can wait. Maybe I can bring this down. How much can I go down? Like that. 69. And then let's see. It might just work. Okay, something I need to check would be, let me just because I've already done the timing for like what I need in the video edit. So maybe I should check on how many frames it is for the different stuff. So this one is 241 frames. It's 241 frames, and then the keep is also 241 frames. 300. Okay, double check that the frames are correct. And then come back to this file. So this one should be, I'll just work with the exact number of frames. It's just easier that way. So Control D 241. Something that maybe I can do too is to like, would it be better to just like wonder whether it's better to shrink the foreground instead of expanding the mid and the background. So this is done. I'll render out the midground. And I'll just do it this way so that's less confusing. So if the foreground, midground, if you're wondering why the lighting is so harsh on this, it's because there's no volume to blend things together, to like bounce and diffuse the light. You can probably just show it like this. You can see like right off the bat, it helps to diffuse. I guess it's kind of like a diffuser. But then it's going to, I think this will affect the alpha channel that I need, so I'm not doing this. So this one's done. This one, I guess I have to think about that one. I guess this one next. You can see the difference between the first one and this one. It's like, it is a lot of difference. I think with my first sculpt project, which is like the girl holding the bird while she's on a vase or vase, the lighting rendering that I was doing kind of kind of like turned out like more like this. And I was trying to figure out like what it is that I need to get it more like a kind of like more like a painting, or just more cohesive. And I just couldn't figure out like what do I search for, like what tutorial do I search for. And then this time around, when I was kind of like maybe a little bit into this, I was like what is it? What was it that I need to fix this? And then like, oh, maybe it's a fog that I need to, like some sort of volumetrics that I need to do. And turns out there are tutorials out there. But sometimes it's just like trying to figure out like what it is that you need, because like all the tutorials will be out there once you know what you need to search for. But when like during the times when I just don't know what I want to search for, I think those are like the hardest times. So this is done. I have 1, 2, 3. I guess background. No, I don't really have a clue if I need the background, but I guess I need it, I think. I think the issue is this one. And I guess I can kind of use my knowledge from making the ID passes in one of the live streams for this case. Maybe that's what I need. Huh. Yeah, maybe that's what I need. So the easy part is done. Now the harder part, which is to render out the layers with accurate lighting. And the way to do this is to use this object tab, and under visibility, and the object has to be selected. Under visibility, ray visibility, this has to be switched off. So the foreground doesn't matter. But then this part of the foreground. This part of the foreground. Maybe. I'm starting to thinking this one. I give this up. Maybe I'll just work on the background first. Maybe the way to do it would be to use this as a holdout. These will be in the foreground. These will be in the foreground. Maybe these should be in the foreground. And then I'll use this as a holdout later on. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's... Let me see. Let's turn this off. Turn this off. Maybe up to this point. No. Let's look up here. I'm thinking I want something that is quite perpendicular to the camera. That way, if there's parallax, it will be less obvious. And this will go bigger. This will move more than this. And maybe that's fine. Maybe I'll keep this in the foreground. Yeah, maybe I'll keep this part. Yes, too. Maybe I'll keep this. These are kind of the problems I always encounter when doing my work, including video editing, sculpting, and whatnot. So I think I'm just going to put this together with the front. So the good thing is that sometimes the plane's a bit annoying. The good thing is that these, like the way that I sculpted them, these will cover. Where are you? It will cover this from the camera angle, and so I can easily just put these. Let me just select them. I'll put these together with this. Then I don't need to worry about thinking of like how to do the alpha for this and all that stuff. Just not sure, do I put this in? I guess it's fine. Maybe it's better not to have this. Maybe it's better this way. What's this? Don't know what that is. So this will be all. What's this? This will all be in the foreground, like that. This is in the foreground. Is it? Yeah, that has to be in the foreground. So this will be in the foreground. I guess. This will be in the foreground. Does the floor matter? I guess I'll just do this for now. Going to, maybe I'll just keep this. Just in case, I guess. But most likely I wouldn't need it. Oh, oops. Wrong button. Can I use the depth pass? Let me just like maybe I can use this for what I need. Or maybe the depth pass might work. I just need to do some cleanup. But yeah, maybe the solution is to use the Z depth pass. I wasn't really thinking about it because like sometimes when I'm learning something new, it feels a little hard to mash different ideas together. So like when I was working on this, like creating all these layers, it becomes like I can't just throw these layers exist like out of the window. But like now that I'm thinking, now that I've kind of like talked through it and think about like how hard it is to split these up, like maybe the solution is to just use this. Yeah. I guess I just have to combine them. Let's start saving these out. $24.11.04 Parallax. think one of the problems I find in the previous working with these files is that I name the files a bit too long. So I think I want it to be a bit shorter so that it's easier to see what the file names are. So I'm just thinking of like what naming convention I want. The date is always a must to add. And then maybe I put like maybe P for Parallax, and sometimes thinking of naming conventions are one of the harder parts. But it's always worth to think about it first, then to get a messy I guess I do P for Parallax, DS2 for the cam, and then this is the foreground. Do I put the alpha first? Or do I put the name first? I guess the name first. Foreground flames. Alpha 1. Okay, that's done. And then I'll save the other one as alpha 2, and then the midground flames alpha 1, 1, 2, 3, DS2flame, DS2flame alpha 1, and then the last one is the background. Background flames alpha 1. So I save 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have 5. Let me check the files. Yep, I have 5 files. And now for the harder part, let's do render out the different areas. So bring this back. And then now right click and S under, I guess I have to click this first. Right click and S. And then as I'm holding Alt, I click on this. Then that way it will uncheck for every object, or else it will only uncheck for the first object. And then, so this one's done. Then I can render this, make sure that the lighting and everything is on. So I can render the first layer. Render the first layer. I have chronic wrist issues, like here, because of the way that I draw or do my work, or like sitting down and using the computer for like 10 hours plus every day in the past month, like non-stop every day. And it's not for like playing games or anything, it's like to do my work, which can be really intense. But thanks to physio, I learned how to manage my wrist pains, which is like the tendons here and through here. Like, do not massage this part because this is where your tendons and like your joints and ligaments are, and you don't want to irritate those, especially when your muscles are tight. But the idea is that from all the intense work like that, over the years the muscles here can get really inflexible and super tight. So you can see like my range of motion this way, I mean, it's decent, but when I try to do like push-ups and stuff, my right hand has more issues than my left hand, which is more flexible over here. But so I've been trying, like over the past few weeks, I've been trying, after my physio checkup, I've been trying to build my flexibility this way. And it's not about like forcing a stretch to the point that you're only pulling the tendon, because like what my physio likes to say is that tendons do not like to be stretched. What you want to stretch is the muscle, which has been really like tight, compressed, or like bunched up. So I do this when I've been working for too long, or before I do my bouldering session and after my bouldering session. Lifting weights would help a lot, because when you're lifting weights, it will stretch out the muscle. That's why I really like deadlifts. But yeah, if you have, I mean, the other thing would be like the compression of the bones here, which I do like hammer curls and something called wrist darts to help to expand this to become normal again. Or else, like, I think since a few months ago, when I do my work, or like when I'm sculpting, there will be pain going through the middle here. Like if I press this, it will be painful, because there's so much compression on the ligaments, as in the ligaments are like pulling the bones so close together that the nerves and everything is compressed. So like what I've been doing in the past few months, which has really helped a lot, and now I don't feel pain when I do my art now, is to expand the space so that it's normal again, and so that my wrist can function properly and happily. Why is this intersecting? I guess that isn't step. I guess this is intersecting. Hopefully that wouldn't show up. And I guess I always like to talk about this because I'm kind of, just from the experience that I have hearing about other artists talking about like, oh, like I like to draw, but then drawing hurts for me, but then I'll just push it through. I'll push through the pain because I love my job and all that. But there is a way to do both, like to make your hands and wrists happy while doing the stuff that you like. And like to me, I always think of it as that I have the responsibility to make sure that my body, which is usually like my hands and my arm and wrist, that they are healthy so that I can do the things that I love, which is to make art. And I just see it that way because like cough. I just think of it that way to give myself motivation to make sure that my muscles are taken care of. Like right now it's so tight. Sometimes the massage ball will like help a lot. Wait a minute. No! Wait, why are you invisible? Oh my god, so oh my god, I hate this so much. Why do you have to do this to me? So annoying. The render is quite slow. I can't, like, was snake cam taking this long? I guess so, right? I mean, it's just that I was doing it off stream, so I didn't realize how slow it is. The background is kind of like really close to the color of this, of the volumetrics, that like I just didn't see that I was rendering the wrong thing. This is so annoying. I need to make sure that because I duplicated the files for the other ones, so I need to remind myself to enable it, because I now that this has happened, I recalled that the same problem happened when I was doing the snake camera shot. I forgot to turn on the background plane. So I think while the render is going on, I can do this. Like, that's the other reason why I don't have the clips inside the like this fusion clip here. So if I open this in the timeline, that's the reason why like I don't have all the clips needed in this menu, because I'm constantly like updating the renders, and then I just can't, like, it's just very weird to like, okay, I put the renders here and then you go to the next page and yeah, it's not intuitive. And that is also why I have to look up on how to export this and import to another project file. So I want this to be the foreground. Open in Fusion page. And now I'll just use the original one first. I keep forgetting that like I'm too used to Nuke. I keep forgetting that when I press 1, it appears on this, and by default, like it's so tiny right here. Why is this 19 by? Is it 1920? Wait, is it? This 3840. Why is this one 1920? Why are you 1920? And why are you not showing up? Do I need to restart? Maybe I'll start over. Just put this here. and then change this to 241 frames, and then I guess, wait, what size is this? This is correct. And then foreground, make sure that the size is correct. And then I will make a new fusion clip and bring this to fusion 1920. Why is my media 1920? Did I do something yesterday? Is it on the project settings? I guess it really doesn't matter. Like I know about this timeline resolution thing, but I kind of thought that yesterday when I was working on the snake that this was saying 4K. But I guess it doesn't matter because all the files are the correct size. Whereas yesterday when I was working on the snake for the first time, some of my renders were 2K, and so I have to adjust the sizes. So delete this. I'll use this as the mask, like that. And that's the reason why I'm not rendering out the foreground, because I can just use the, and pressing D will, Control P, because I can just use the original render for the foreground pieces. It's really annoying that it's Control P. I also don't understand why I can't change it. I mean, I looked it up and apparently I can't change the hotkey for this. So this is done. I'm going to, I guess it's nice that this is in 2. So I'm going to add this to maybe. Lumen of, wait, what was it? Curve. Will it work like this? No. So I'll just do a different one where, oops. Right click this, copy paste this. Can't recall that there was a way to, was it like this? Oh yeah, then it'll merge these two together like so. And then this one has to be luminance, so that why not? It's correct. Why is it not correct? Maybe I'm putting it at the wrong. Ah yeah, because it's not the yellow one, whatever that is called. Okay, so now it should work. Yep. And then with this, I'm going to grab just the front. like that maybe, and then I'll merge it together like that. And then now that I know that the merge tool let me think. What does this look like? I wonder if I can mask. No. Oh, can I mask this? No. Wait, can I? Because I don't want the outside. So it's not this one. How do I remove this? Maybe if I do a merge and then I'm kind of making a guess right here. No, it's not like that. Oh, I guess that works. Okay, so now I've cleaned up the parts which I don't really know how to do multiple splines. I only know how to do like that. But I guess that's fine for what I need, because I'm not doing complex rotoscoping anyway. These are pretty straightforward. I'm not sure whether I need to remove this, but let's see. So this is before and this is after. So maybe what I can do would be to use this layer now, this one, and then where is that one? And then by using this, I'm going to do merge like that, and then this will be in. No, Control T. Is it in? Wait, why is this one? Why is this frame? Wait, is it because I'm dragging like that? No? You see, this is appearing. It's like driving me nuts. Is it just because like Davinci is running out of RAM or something? Then what about this? You're like, what the hell? Never mind. I'll just replace. Like that. So I don't know how the hell like this becomes foggy. I'm like a Davinci noob. Okay, this one and this one. I want this to be the opposite. No, it's not this. I want this to be used as... Wait, maybe I should just do this. Can I invert this? Is there a way to invert this? No, just invert color. Someone use this. Maybe the answer is somewhere here. No, it's not under. Oh yes, stencil. Oh, I've forgotten that you exist. I've forgotten the stencils that exist. Now it feels like an old friend. Okay, this one. So with this one, I can use it to... so annoying. Let me just replace these now. And the reason why like I drag from this to up there, I think it's because like I'm subconsciously working like how I use Nuke for compositing. And I think, shoot, what is it? Or am I just like coping? Okay, what's this? This. Why is it not showing? Isn't this correct? Oh, right. I forgot that I need to change this to luminance. Okay. And I want to... I guess it has to be afterwards. Where I will use this stencil again. Like that. So now it's just like this. And now I overlay this on top. And then... yeah, I'm not really sure whether all these things will look good, but then it might be a bigger risk of seeing like double images like this. So maybe it's better not to do that, especially if the shot is really fast and all. So go back here. So I think I'll just remove that because I don't need it. Can I just merge these two together? Yeah, I guess I can merge this together. It's looking a bit messy because I still I don't know like what order I want to do the things in. Yeah, so now I get what I want, which is wait, what's this? What the hell are you doing? What's that? Okay, let me stencil. I really don't know what the more optimized method is, but now I know that stencil exists, so I'm just gonna use it for everything and just do like a rectangle, just like that. Sometimes it's neater that way. I use stenciling. Control T. Wait, why is it because I need a I remember sometimes in Nuke that wait, why can't you why can't I increase this? I remember sometimes in Nuke that resolution would be a problem for doing mask. I feel like I'm not treating this the right way. How do I stencil this out? Like in my mind it should be stupid easy, but it's oh, maybe I should just do it. Maybe I should just do it here. Okay. Just like that. Please. Yes. Okay. Solved. And now I should have what I need, which is but then now there's like a double. Is it double? But maybe it doesn't matter. Sometimes like when stacking alphas, it will create a harder edge where it's supposed to be softer, just from the nature of stacking. But I think it should be fine. Okay, so now I figured this out. I can neaten it up a bit. Like this. I try to keep the groups a little bit like distant apart so that it's easier to select them, and then media out like that. So now this is the correct layer at the top. That wasn't so hard. I guess. And I guess the friend is still going. Maybe it's too much then. The render shouldn't be taking this long. I'm going to stop it. Because I put a lower setting. Yeah, I think this is the wrong setting. You know what, I think I was using this. Wait, no. Wait, what was I using? Damn it. I should have, you know, I'm just gonna open up the other file. And check what settings I used to render because it was a lot faster. Should just check right from the beginning. Wait, it's the same setting. But this is too slow. Maybe I'll go up. Maybe 0. Should I try 0.1? Maybe I'll try 0.1 first. And this is fine. Okay, next layer. Because I mean, now that I've done like 2 days of this is more familiar to me. And so it should be easier for me to kind of like, how to say, it'll be easier for me to like swap things out when I need to. So I'll just set the things up first. Where should I start from scratch? I guess I'll just duplicate this. Wait, what am I doing? I'll duplicate this and I'll bring this to Fusion, and then I'll just do this just to check that. Wait, what am I doing? D to disable, just to check that I'm not affecting this one. And that's all good. And now it should be the second layer. Which is this one. And maybe this will be straightforward because, where is it? This one. Maybe it's just a matter of like this. And then I'll duplicate this one and bring this into, use this for this one. And like when I'm pretty sure that this is just what I need, then I'll delete these. But I can just keep them for now. I'm like too used to doing this because I've been doing that for 4 weeks, but I should just be disabling the renders. So this is the top layer. This is the top layer. Yeah, it's like so much easier to do this. Then this is the second. No, this has to be below. Like that. Right now it still looks quite off because the foreground is creeping into the areas where it's not supposed to be. But that's why I'm rendering this out, so that I can get the intermediate layers like this. Like the bird is supposed to be here, and what I'm rendering out, the bird will be there. Whereas before, do I have it? No. Whereas by default, this here is covering the bird, and that's why it looks off right now. Yeah, that is done. I'm not sure whether I should be doing the background too. Like, is this turning into 5 layers? No, right? Okay, let's wait. No, I'm going to put this down here. So this is here, and then this one. This will be the background layer, which I haven't brought in. So like this. And now the background is in. Wait, is this the right? Wait, it's wrong. Now the background is in. You can see the foreground spear here. It's not supposed to be there. Oh wait, I guess it's easier to see it. Oh. It's easier to see it this way, where it's supposed to look like this, not like that. Okay, so that's done. Yeah. So now I have the different layers. I can keyframe this now. I wish that there's a way to do a mass keyframe. Okay, so the keyframes are in, and then just thinking, that maybe it's better if the foreground is already bigger, I guess. If the foreground is already bigger and the background is smaller, and when they increase and decrease. I think that should. Maybe I should. Like, what if both? Okay, let's try. Like, what if everything? Wait, like, why can't I just do a mess? Is it because it's a fusion clip? Okay, what if everything is already slightly bigger? Like that. Oh, I think the render's almost done. So if I do this, and I want to shrink the foreground, let's say, because if I start from 1 and I shrink it down, then you see it will be cut off. So I'm giving myself a buffer like this so that I can set this to 1 so that it has space to shrink in. And that's the reason why I kind of did some like rough idea of doing this initially in the other timeline. That's why I know that I have to do this. It's just true mistakes. Everything's true mistakes. Okay, so this is done. Maybe the key is to see if it's like, do I need to do this even? Maybe. Excuse me. Maybe I do need to. Maybe I do need to do this. Okay, so maybe I'll keep the mid-ground static. Let's see what this is doing. Wait, this is... She's not too bad. Let me yeah, like this two not moving. Actually not too bad. Maybe I don't even need to split this up. Maybe I just combine them. Like maybe they are fine together. But I'll just keep it separate so that I have the flexibility to adjust them if I really want to. Yeah, it's not bad. So I would probably have to do the same for this one. Well, like I should patch up this flaw. Okay, I'll do that now. F2 for if you're just tuning into the stream. If you press Ctrl-Alt-K, you can bring up this and you can create your own hotkeys for Davinci. And one of the most helpful hotkeys I've assigned for myself is this one to open the selected clip into Fusion page, which is really helpful because for 4 weeks I've been like moving this away, and like the top clip will be brought in here, which is super tedious. especially when the timeline is super crowded. But if I like disable and bring this, or if I don't have this disabled and I just want to bring this F2, then it's done. Like bam. It's so much faster. Yeah, I don't need to do this one. I need to do this one. I just want the floor in the foreground, I mean midground, to appear like this is really good. It's kind of weird how like now that I've thought of the idea of using the ZDAP path and using it to do what I need, I don't know how long, like was it an hour of just being like pulling out my head trying to think how to break this up. It felt so stupid. I'm just like, oh, do you see how straightforward it is? It's always happen all the time. I think that's why I keep questioning myself, because So I want this. And maybe I can just do a really simple way of stenciling out instead of like overcomplicating things, that I will do like this. Like that until I get maybe I should just use spline until I get just the floor, so that I don't create a stacked alpha, something like that. And it's super easy to do this because everything is a still image. I don't need this. It doesn't matter if that one is moving differently, because it is not going to be visible. But I do need to be quite specific for this one. You know what, actually if I am just rotating this, maybe wait, if I'm just doing this, then maybe I can push this even more, because like right now there's transparency here, which I prefer not to have. So I can push this. And then I can just like push this up a bit like that. Oh. so that I can get this. Maybe I just soften it a tiny bit. One thing that's weird to me when it comes to Davinci is that just a really tiny amount already soften the edge, like blurs the edge quite a lot. It kind of makes it a little hard to do a soft feathering for, like a really minute feathering for rotor splines, because I have to manually type this out, or it's just really hard to like get it. Like 0.0015 is quite a big difference from 0.001. But maybe I'm just using it wrong or something. Okay. So this is done. Do I need this one? What's this? I guess I don't need this. I need this one. So delete this. Can I? Let me see. Why are you in alpha mode? So I have this one. Maybe I should be starting the next render. Here shouldn't be. Wait. Oh. I guess I realized that I've rendered things wrong. Let me re-render them again. Okay, now that that's done, I will render the background, which means that these should be hidden. This should be hidden. I'll hide this. Okay, so okay, let's keep going. The difference is that I have to render for this. Because I have to render for this, it should look better. Yeah, maybe this should be together. I'll just put them together. Merge this like that. I'll merge this together so that is this the wrong one? Yeah. One of the issues of rendering with less samples is that the fine details from the distance disappears, like these. But if I really have to fix it, then I will fix it off stream, because I can really set this up. I think this is fine to use this one because it's just for the base. But then, okay, let's see. Is this the right file? Oh, it's a different file. It needs a different setting. So I should have like it should work now, I think. Like the parts that I'll be concerned about is this one. Like this is really obvious. But then maybe I can just do a transform for this. I mean, it's not super visible anyway. But like, a nice thing is that things like this wait, is it in the wrong layer? Wait a minute. Wait, is this bird in the wrong layer? Oh, it's because... So I need to remove this. Okay, step by step, remove this one. I can probably do like this. I guess I have to go soon. But I'll use this somehow. So this is what I want, and it will make sense soon. And I just want this. Oh, mask. I'm gasping because this is like the most common thing. And it took me so long to realize that it's there. Okay, like this. And with this, because I want to stencil this out. You know, I don't need this. I want to stencil that out. Wait, I'm trying to think. How do I stencil that out? Merge, stencil. And I want it to be the opposite of this. So this is going to be, I'm going to use this and I'll use let me just leave this here first, like this, and then I will do this. And this one is like that. This one is like this. So this one, I want it to what is it? Wait, this one. This one is like this. Is it because this is not? Yeah, it's not an image. How do I convert this into an image? How do I convert this into an image? It's just an alpha right now. It's just an alpha. How do I use this? How do I use that? Maybe I just keep this separate. Keep this separate. Keep this separate. Keep this separate, and then or do I just put this together with the others? I'm just doing this wrong. You know what, maybe I should put this away from the foreground. Because like one of the issues is I'm just not familiar enough with the like how the nodes work and all that in Davinci, because it does seems like I don't know how to turn this alpha into an image. So in Nuke there's a way where you can copy the alpha into the RGB channels, and that effectively turns the alpha into an RGB image, if that makes sense. Because all these nodes are using RGB channels, whereas this one, when I look at the, I'm guessing, whereas like for this I'm using a luminance channel. And so it's outputting an alpha, and because it's outputting an alpha, I can't use it this time. Why can't I not use it? Well, anyway, instead of like you see like how much I have to think about it. I think it's not worth it. I'm just going to put this together with the midground because it's not going to intersect with any of this, which I wasn't really thinking about until I set this up and like, it's, yeah. And I think I can quickly do that right now. Wait, the render is not done yet. So I would just, I guess like either do it off stream or do it in the next stream, because there's still a whole bunch of things to do for video editing. Yeah, like a whole bunch of very minor stuff. No, there's a bunch of stuff that I need to replace, but yeah, they're all considered minor stuff compared to what I've been doing. Oh no. It's my first time encountering this. Yeah, I guess it has to be done off stream then. But it's good that now I can make the decision to remove this, because it just makes more sense for it to be part of the midground. Then that way the birds here wouldn't get cut off and all that. And I guess because this is part of the midground, it's weird for it to move at the same pace as this. I just wasn't really thinking about it. I guess in the future I have to think that like if the foreground element is not intersecting with this, and if it extends to the back, that I should just keep this to the back instead of thinking like, oh, this is really far forward. Because now I'm encountering the issue of the, like, which I wasn't really thinking about it before, but like now it seems really straightforward that this will stand out a lot like that. But the good news is that this is working. But I guess I'm just going to do like a 1 after all, because I want it to zoom in. I do want it to zoom in, but just a little bit, and then the background will zoom in a lot more. Wait. This is quite a cool effect where like the foreground is zooming in and the background is drawing back. Wonder whether this might be what I want after all. But yeah, like now that I can see this, it feels so obvious that this should be behind and not in front. It's always so hard to do this kind of thing. And I feel like that's really the times when I just don't know where the time went. But now I know that, like, let me see. Now I know. that I spent some time working on this, and that's where my time went, so that I don't feel like that the time has just disappeared somewhere without me knowing. So I'll have to split. I also have to see like why the blender has an error. I wonder whether it's something to do with like I'm doing this while it's rendering or something. But yeah, I'll hit off now. I hope that... Oh, hello blank. Checking. How good is my PC? I have no idea. I only know that I think there was a few months ago there was news of how some Intel chips have been frying for like randomly just deep frying or something. And my boyfriend and I, we have the same PC build because we built the PC at the same time. We bought the parts and all that. But we were a bit like scared that ours was the one that has been frying all around the world. But luckily it's the version before that. And that's all I know. I'm not really that good with remembering all these technical stuff. But it's decent, but it's not the best. But I feel like it's decent enough for what I need. What is it? Is it 30? Oh, I guess it's 30. It's RTX 3070 Ti for my RAM. Yeah. 3070 Ti. Yeah, I'll head off now. Thank you for watching, and I hope that the struggles that I show on stream will give you some motivation to like not get overwhelmed with your own projects, because it's really just try to break things down to manageable steps that you can overcome, and eventually it'll get to somewhere. You just have to I just have to figure out the baby steps to get to that, and this is what I've been doing. Yeah, so I'm gonna remove this, and then hopefully that will fix majority of this. I think it will. And I guess like I will think about whether or not I want to split this one from this one, but that is really simple, I think, because this one is completely covered by the foreground, so it really doesn't matter if like this. I can always change this because I already have the alpha for this. I already have the alpha, a separate alpha for this one, and I guess this is in the midground. Maybe this should be in the background though, now that I think about it. Like maybe this is in the midground, and maybe this should be with this one, I think. Yeah, like now that I can see all these things and like let my brain process it a little bit, I can kind of like think better on how to organize my layers. And I think it's better for me to, wait, let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know what, maybe it's better to just keep it like that. You know what, I think I'll just leave it. I'll leave it alone. Because it's over here. Yeah, it's not that much. I guess I'll just leave it alone. Let me see what this one looks like. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe I need to split this one. But I have to see it in the Blender file. Yeah, I think I'll just keep it as is because this one is quite, like, even the defocus level is different. So it would be nice if this moves independently of this. And since the base is covered, it shouldn't matter that much, like how this moves, because this wouldn't be visible, I think. Yeah, maybe it's just more about seeing if I should split this one up, because this is quite big. So the bigger the more space it occupies, the more obvious it will be when, like, it'll be more obvious when, like, a whole bunch of things are moving at this, like, together in the same, with the same transforms. But if this one is attached to this, then I'll just leave it as it is. I have a feeling that it might be attached. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.